Gemini, lately, have you felt like you're living between two worlds? One where you smile, say the right things, keep everything light as if nothing can touch you, and another deeper, quieter, where unspoken questions are growing too big to ignore. You can feel it, can't you? Something inside you is shifting. A strange energy is stirring, part fear, part calling. It's not loud, just a whisper in your mind saying, the truth you've been avoiding is the key to your soul's freedom. And maybe what exhausts you most isn't other people, it's living between two versions of yourself. The one the world sees and the one you're becoming. Sometimes you wonder, does anyone truly see me? But Gemini, the universe always does. And today, this message finds you not by accident, because soon a truth will be revealed, one that may change the way you see yourself, others, and the path you thought you were on. But don't be afraid. This truth isn't coming to break you. It's coming to awaken you. If you're ready to open your heart to what's coming, press like to send a signal to the universe that you're ready for this transformation, and leave a comment. I'm ready to face my truth. It's more than just words, it's a commitment to your own soul. So, prepare yourself a cup of tea or coffee you love, and join me on this journey where we'll explore the deepest layers of Gemini's spirit, so you can finally discover what you've been unconsciously seeking all along, the truth of who you really are. Part 1. The inner split. The two voices inside you. Gemini, perhaps you've grown used to hiding what's truly inside your heart. You smile, talk, and joke as if nothing ever bothers you. Everyone sees you as full of energy, intelligent, quick, charming, someone who can talk to anyone, smooth over any situation. But only you know that sometimes that smile is just a delicate mask, crafted to hide the storms rising quietly within your soul. There's something few people understand about Gemini. You are a soul living in two worlds at once. One world is the outer world, where you play your perfect version, always composed, always thoughtful, always knowing what to say to make others feel at ease. And then there's the inner world, the one where you face yourself in silence, where you see the contradictions, the unanswered questions, and the nameless emotions you've never dared to speak aloud. It's exhausting, isn't it? Always trying to balance between two selves, one that craves peace and one that just wants to be real. Sometimes you wonder, does anyone truly understand me? Because the more you try to please everyone, the further you drift from yourself. The universe sees that, Gemini. It knows you're tired. You've reached a point where pretending no longer works. Something inside you is awakening, a gentle but steady voice whispering, it's time to stop. It's time to return to who you truly are. But the moment you hear that voice, another part of you grows afraid. The old familiar voice murmurs, don't change. Don't cause trouble. Everything is fine as it is. And just like that, you fall back into the same silent battle between comfortable illusion and risky truth. You're afraid of losing what you've built, your image, your relationships, your place in someone's heart. But deeper down, you're afraid of losing yourself, because you know that if you keep living like this, you'll disappear into the roles that others expect you to play. Maybe lately you've felt confused, detached, unsure of what's real and what's not. That's not random. The universe is opening a gateway, the mirror portal, where Mercury's logic meets Pluto's truth, forcing you to confront the deepest layers of your being. It's urging you to look into the mirror of your soul, where the buried emotions you've avoided are beginning to rise. And in that mirror, you'll see two pairs of eyes staring back. One belongs to the version of you the world knows, and the other to the soul you've forgotten. The question is, will you keep looking away, or will you dare to face yourself? Gemini, you don't have to choose just yet. But you do need to acknowledge that these two voices exist. Because the moment you name them, you've already begun the journey home. Sometimes, you don't need to do anything, just sit quietly, listen, and admit, yes, I'm conflicted. Yes, I'm afraid. But I'm ready to face it. That's where rebirth begins. Because Gemini is not two people, it's two halves of one soul learning to reunite. One half is reason, the other is emotion. One half is light, the other is shadow. And when you allow both to coexist without denial, without fear, you'll feel something miraculous. The peace you've been searching for all along. The universe is waiting for you to pause, breathe slowly, and listen to yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to come back to being you. If what you've heard today makes your heart tremble, if something deep within you feels seen, leave a comment. I'm ready to face my truth. That's your signal to the universe that you've taken the first step on your awakening journey. And don't forget to like this video, to share this energy with other Geminis walking the same path. Now, take a deep breath, make yourself a warm cup of tea, and open your heart, because, in the next part, the cosmic mirror, when the mind begins to rewrite destiny, we'll dive even deeper into the miracle waiting for you on the other side. Part 2. The cosmic mirror. When the mind begins to rewrite destiny, Gemini, once you begin listening to the two voices inside you, the first thing you'll notice is that everything around you starts to change. Not because the world itself is suddenly different, but because you're seeing it through new eyes. It's as if an invisible veil has been lifted, and for the first time, you're seeing the truth behind what you once believed. The universe is unfolding before you, a new kind of map, not of roads you've traveled, but of consciousness. Here, your intellect is no longer just a tool to please others. It becomes the guiding light for your soul's journey. And you'll come to realize this. You weren't born to say what's safe. You were born to speak the truths others are too afraid to voice. Gemini, the sign of words and intellect ruled by Mercury, carries a rare gift. The power of thought and expression. But for much of your life, you may have used that gift to maintain balance, to make others comfortable, to smooth over the darkness no one wanted to face. Now, the energy of the universe is shifting strongly. Mercury aligns with Uranus, opening the Gemini Air Gateway, a portal of mind liberation, freeing you from the mental patterns that have limited you for so long. As this gateway opens, your mind becomes a cosmic mirror reflecting not only the world outside, but also the deepest layers within you. You begin to question everything you once accepted without thought. Do I truly believe this? Or am I just repeating what others believe? What part of me is afraid to change? And if I were truly free, how would I live differently? These questions are activation codes for awakening. At first, they'll make you feel confused, but that confusion isn't chaos, it's your old self dissolving. The structures, beliefs, and labels that once defined you are beginning to crack so that new light can pour in. And yes, people won't understand you right away. Some friends or loved ones might say, "You've changed." But smile, Gemini, because they don't realize you're not changing. You're returning. Returning to the original Gemini, the soul that bridges two worlds, light and shadow, logic and intuition, the physical and the divine. You were born to hear both sides, to carry the wisdom of light into darkness, and the compassion of darkness back into light. That's why, when you live authentically, your energy becomes magnetic. People can feel it, even when you say nothing. Your voice begins to resonate deeper. Your eyes start telling stories that words never could. And your mind now no longer seeks to know more, but to understand more deeply. This is the difference between someone who merely speaks and someone who has awakened. The one who speaks uses words to fill the silence. The one who awakens uses silence to open awareness. You, Gemini, are learning that. You're learning to speak less. But when you do, your words carry transformation. You're learning to stop searching for answers outside, and instead, to turn inward and listen to the whisper of your own soul. That's why this phase might feel lonely. As your understanding deepens, you'll realize you no longer fit into shallow conversations, empty relationships, or routines built on pleasing others. But don't worry, that's a good sign, because when you release what no longer fits, you make room for what's truly meant for you. Gemini, your mind is a vast world, and right now, you're being given the chance to rewrite your own destiny. No one else can do it for you. No one else will fully understand this path but you. And somehow, the universe is whispering, don't fear the evolution of your mind. It's the sign that your soul is evolving. If what you've heard today lights even a small spark inside you, hit like to spread this awakening energy to others on the same journey. And if you truly feel something opening within, comment below. I am awakening my mind. It's more than words, it's your confirmation to the universe that you're ready to step into a new chapter, where you are the author of your own destiny. Part 3. The shock of truth. When you speak it, some will leave. Gemini, perhaps you've started to notice, when you begin to live truthfully, the universe tests your courage in the most human way, by letting you lose a few people. Not because you're wrong, but because your energy no longer matches theirs. The truth is, not everyone is ready to hear what you're about to say. When you finally speak your truth clearly, honestly, without filters, the world around you reacts. Some will grow silent. Some will avoid you. Some will look at you differently. And the ones who hurt you the most may be those you once trusted, respected, and believed would understand. They'll ask, why have you changed? They'll say, you're not the same anymore. But Gemini, you know the truth, you haven't changed. You're just returning home to yourself. And those who can't accept that return simply aren't ready to face the truth. Truth carries a special kind of energy. It doesn't destroy, it reveals. It doesn't break real relationships. It only exposes the ones that were built on illusion. When you speak the truth, those who love the real you will draw closer. But those who only loved the version they created in their minds will slowly drift away. That's why this stage is known as the Uranus Truth Transit, a 7-year cycle that tests Gemini's inner integrity. Uranus doesn't destroy. It shakes loose everything that isn't real. If a relationship, a job, or an identity you've built no longer aligns with your soul, Uranus will dismantle it. Not to punish you, but to free you. And yes, there will be nights when you lie awake, asking yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth losing everything just to live honestly? The answer, Gemini, will always be yes. Because you're not truly losing anything, you're simply being cleared to receive what's whole. The universe chose Gemini as a messenger of truth. Not because you're flawless, but because you understand deeply how humans avoid the truth. You used to be one of them. You understand the fear of rejection, misunderstanding, and loneliness. And that's why your words now carry healing power. When you dare to say what others can't, you become a light in the dark. Some will call you cold. Some will call you arrogant. But you know the real reason you're choosing honesty over comfort. And this world, now more than ever, needs souls like you, those who dare to speak, to illuminate, to break through the fog of collective illusion. Truth can make you lonely, but remember, loneliness is not punishment. It's a sign of elevation. 2-3 are no sign. Truth can make you lonely, but remember loneliness. When your soul rises to a higher frequency, some people simply can't follow. That doesn't make them bad. It just means their path is different from yours. One day, when peace returns to your heart, you'll look back and thank even those who left, because through them, you learned how to stand tall on your own. Through them, you realized that true love never asks you to pretend. And through them, you discovered that truth never makes you lose anyone. It only shows you who truly belongs. Gemini, if you're in that phase where everything seems to be falling away, know this: you are not alone. Every awakening Gemini on this planet walks through this pain. But on the other side lies a freedom you've never known before. Trust that when you speak your truth, you open the doorway for those who vibrate with your authenticity to find you. And when those souls arrive, they won't love you for what you do, but for the energy of truth that radiates from you. If these words make your heart tremble, hit like to share the vibration of truth with other souls on the same path. And if you've ever lost someone simply because you dared to be real, comment below. Truth never loses. Because when you say it, you're declaring to the universe, the truth may cost me people, but it will never cost me myself. Part 4. The rebirth of your voice. Freedom through clarity. Gemini. After the storm of truth, after the days when it felt like you had lost everything, something miraculous begins to happen. Everything becomes still. No more arguments. No more justifications. No more exhausting efforts to be understood. There's only you and you. And in that quiet space, you start to hear something new. Your true voice. Not the one that tries to please others. Not the one that defends, convinces, or survives. But the voice of your soul, soft, pure, yet unwavering. You realize that when you no longer need others to understand you, you begin to understand yourself. And that's a quiet but profound turning point. Because before, every word you spoke was a calculation. How to say it so they wouldn't be upset, so they would still love you, so they would stay. But now, you speak only when you truly have something to say. And sometimes, you choose silence, not because you're weak, but because you finally understand that silence is also a language of the soul. The truth is, you never needed to speak more to be heard. You only needed to speak truer. When your voice comes from clarity, it carries a frequency of healing. It no longer acts as a weapon of defense. It becomes a light that guides others home. This is the lesson of Mercury trine Saturn, a cosmic cycle teaching Gemini how to use words as tools of healing, not protection. If before, you spoke to be understood, now you speak to connect. If before, you spoke to be heard, now you speak to exchange energy. If before, your words were walls, now they've become doors. You'll also notice that those who truly love you will return. Not because they've won an argument, but because they recognize the light in you. When you live authentically, your energy becomes transparent, and it naturally draws kindred souls back in. Maybe they once left. Maybe they once misunderstood. But real love, like the magnetic field of the universe, never disappears. It only waits for the right frequency to reconnect. Gemini. You no longer need to shout to be heard. Now, your mere presence is enough for others to feel the truth. You are no longer just the speaker of astrology. You are the carrier of frequency. Your voice, even in silence, holds the power to make hearts listen. And then you realize true freedom doesn't come from being accepted. It comes from accepting yourself. You no longer need approval to be at peace. You no longer need anyone's nod to feel right. You no longer need validation to feel worthy, because you've found that light within yourself. From this moment on, life begins to feel lighter. What once scared you now becomes your teacher. Those who once hurt you become guides that led you deeper into your own heart. And with every deep breath, you can almost hear the universe whispering, "Finally, you've come home." This is the rebirth of Gemini's voice. A voice no longer born from fear, but from clarity. A voice that doesn't need to be heard by ears, but felt by hearts. A voice that doesn't have to be loud because it vibrates in the frequency of truth. If you feel calmer as you listen to this, it's because your soul is resonating with this energy. Press like to help this piece ripple outward. And if you can feel the transformation within you, comment below, "I've found my true voice." Because when you write that, you're sending a powerful signal to the universe that says, "I've learned to speak with clarity, with love, and with soul." Part 5. The Soul Declaration. Speak your light. Gemini. After all the change, after all the loss, after every moment you thought you'd break, do you see it now? You're still here, still breathing, still feeling, and most importantly, still believing in the light. Not the light outside you, but the light within you, the one that never went out, no matter how many times life tried to extinguish it. What makes you different isn't that you speak a lot, it's that you dare to speak the truths others are afraid to face. You don't just use words, you use energy, sensitivity, and courage to transform the world around you. In every conversation, every line you write, every look you share, there's an invisible message flowing through. Be real. Be yourself. Gemini, you are the bridge between the world of the mind and the world of the soul. Not everyone can stand between those two realms, one of logic, one of feeling, one of light, one of shadow. But you can. Because the Gemini soul was born to connect, to translate, to help humanity understand that intellect and love are not opposites, but the two wings of the same soul. Don't be afraid of being misunderstood. Misunderstanding isn't a sign that you're wrong, it's a sign that you're ahead. Those who carry light are often misread in the dark, but they never stop, because they know. Only when you keep shining can others begin to see their own path. The universe chose you not to please anyone, but to awaken the collective through your wisdom, your sincerity, and your ability to see into people's hearts without judgment. Every time you open up, every time you share your story with truth, you trigger awakening in others. You may not see it, but somewhere, another Gemini is watching this, feeling something stir deep inside. They whisper, "She's speaking for me." And just like that, the light spreads from you to them, to the world. Gemini, now you understand. You don't have to speak loudly to make an impact. You just have to speak from your heart, and the universe will amplify that sound to those who need to hear it. Write, share, tell your story. It doesn't need to be perfect, only authentic. Because every time you choose truth, a part of the world is healed. Every time you speak what you feel, another Gemini finds the courage to do the same. Don't fear if your path feels too different. Your soul wasn't born to blend in. It was born to illuminate. Not everyone will understand the language of light, but light doesn't need to be understood to shine. And you are one of those rays. Not here to seek the spotlight, but to guide lost souls toward it. Remember this, Gemini. Your power doesn't lie in having all the answers. but in daring to ask the questions no one else dares to ask. You didn't come here to live a life written by someone else. You came to write your own declaration. A declaration that doesn't need to be printed or approved, because it's carved in energy, in action, in every breath of truth you take. Let your voice, whether through words, writing, or the energy of your presence, become the wind that carries light. Speak when your heart feels called, and stay silent when your soul wants to listen. Both the words and the silence hold equal power when born from truth. And if right now you feel something moving in your chest, a peace, a spark, a quiet knowing you can't explain, that's your soul smiling, because finally you've come home to yourself. And if today you choose to live in truth, leave a comment. I am my truth, not for others to see, but for the universe to hear. Because when you declare it, you're sending out a message that says, I'm ready to live, speak, and love through the light of my soul. Don't forget to subscribe. This journey doesn't end here. It's only the beginning of a new Gemini, a soul who knows the power of truth and is ready to share it with the world. And who knows, with just one video, one message, one moment of honesty, you might be the one who awakens thousands of hearts. Gemini, if you've made it here, perhaps you already know the path of living truthfully is never the easy one, but it is always the necessary one. Because every time you choose truth over pretending, you reclaim a piece of your soul that was once lost. The greatest lesson the universe wants to give you through this video is this. True freedom doesn't come from being loved more, it comes from daring to love yourself deeper. Truth may cost you people, but it will never cost you yourself. Loneliness may hurt, but it's also the sacred space where your inner light is born. And it's exactly when you learn to stand tall on your own that you begin to shine in a way that needs no one's permission. The most precious thing you'll gain from this journey isn't validation from others. It's the peace that fills your heart when you no longer have to pretend. Because in the end, living truthfully isn't about being understood by anyone, it's about understanding yourself. If even one part of this video has touched you, illuminated you, or given you strength, hit like to send a wave of gratitude to the universe and leave a comment below. I choose to live true to myself. Writing those words isn't just for interaction, it's a way to anchor the frequency of awakening into your reality, to let the universe know that you're ready to step forward with the essence of a true Gemini. Wise, free, and sincere. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next messages made especially for Gemini, where we'll journey deeper into the path of the soul, uncover your divine purpose, and recognize the daily signs the universe is sending your way. Remember, Gemini, you didn't come here to become someone else's idea of who you should be. You came here to become you, the most beautiful, radiant, and authentic version of yourself. The universe is watching over you every step of the way. Keep speaking with your light. Keep living your truth. And keep loving with a fearless heart. I'll see you in the next video of this journey where your light will shine even brighter. From my soul to yours, this is your time to shine, Gemini.